Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. I found in the archives papers of my father-in-law, Rabbi Mindel, and this is written in Hebrew, Lashon Kodesh, a conversation with the Rebbe. It doesn't say who wrote this. Usually it says if he wrote it, it says he wrote it, or if Rabbi Chadikov wrote it, it says Rabbi Chadikov. But here it doesn't say, but apparently, probably, this was the conversation that Rabbi Chadikov and Rabbi Mindel had with the Rebbe. And we'll see what I'm going to read soon. So I'm going to translate this into English, and I'm going to read exactly the way it says. And this is about solving the problem of vacation in the life of the students. Now, throughout the years, there were meetings between Rabbi Chadikov, Rabbi Mindel, and the Rabbeim, orally written, and from the beginning when they established Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch, the guidelines of Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch, what they're supposed to do, everything is written. I'm sure Merkez probably has them. I don't know if they have, but I'm sure probably they do. But Rabbi Mindel wrote down everything from the beginning, and the Mirza Hashem in the future I'm going to share it with you. But today I want to share, and the Rebbe gave this responsibility to Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch, that he wanted that they should be involved they should be on top of the yeshivas and the chadorim of Lubavitch to organize, to teach melamdim how to be good bechanchim. And this should be the responsibility of Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch. I don't know today, I don't know if they do it or they don't do it. And I will tell you that when Merkez started, they were thinking about having dinner once a year like yeshiva. The Rebbe didn't like the idea then. I'll share it with you another time. So Merkez, I don't think ever had a banquet or a dinner. But they did have meetings with mechanchim, and the meetings, the Rebbe said, and I'll share with you another time, that every meeting that mechanchim have with teachers, with there should be always a follow-up. And the follow-up means they should always be involved. It's not just a meeting once a year and that's all. But there should be a follow-up, not only lectures, but a follow-up in how Dan Hoge, how they should conduct themselves, and how the whole chinuch should be. They should be involved with the yeshivas. Put it that way. Now, as a side thing, I just want to mention, if I mention Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch, I do want to say that in the back of the Siddur, in Tehillas Hashem Siddur, the Rebbe wanted that there should be a page, and it always was there, of the guidelines of what Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch is supposed to do. The Chinuch Inyanim. Now, lately I saw they printed Siddurs and it's not there. I don't know why it was taken out. Maybe if they have if they have a hero from the Rebbe, it's a different story. But if they don't, I can say that the Rebbe did want that page should be taken out. And besides, Bichlal, there's other things I see in the Siddur that was printed, that a lot of things is not the same as the Tehillas Hashem like used to be. The Sfiras HaOmer is in a different Seder, it's more in the front than in the back. Also the Shem HaSfiras is also it was in the left side, now it's on the right side, and there's many more things which I don't want to go into it. But if there is a reason why it was done, fine. If it comes from the Rebbe, everything that comes from the Rebbe is fine. If it doesn't, then we want to know why wasn't it put in. Now, by the way, I want to say something else here. When the Rebbe worked with the Rabbi Mindel in the Talks and Tales, and also the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, the Rebbe said to Rabbi Mindel, and I mentioned it once, that if Rabbi Mindel was very good in English, he was an English person, that if you find a mistake in my spelling, please correct me. The fact is that the Rebbe corrected Rabbi Mindel. And when the Talks and Tales now was printed, in the spelling, the Rebbe had an old-fashioned English and Rabbi Mindel had a modern English, and they put the way Rabbi Mindel put the spelling, and they should have put the way the Rebbe put it. The Rebbe crossed out, so I don't know why they didn't put the spelling the way the Rebbe put. So there's a lot of I can show it to the Merkez of the Yonah Chinuch if they want to see certain things. Anyway, so now I'm going to read inside, translate what the Rebbe, what the discussion was as far as the summer, since we are in the summer now, the beginning of the summer, what is the responsibility of the mechanchim, of the teachers, to have with the students. The problem with vacation, as the Rebbe says, and my intent is mainly the long and extended summer vacation is well known. For a period of 10 to 12 weeks in the United States, the students of the school are neglected. Some of them, the younger ones, managed by going to camp for the entire summer or part of it. Some of them, the older ones, manage with some sort of occupation, full-time or part-time, to make money. But many students remain in the city and roam around in all sorts of places without Torah and Avodah and without any supervision, and the danger is great. Idleness, as is well known, brings to various unwanted results in regards to behavior and ethics. Removing the prikas oil, the yoke, I'm translating this from Hebrew, of school results in throwing away all discipline in general, and the extended break from studying causes the learning to be forgotten. The transition from an active period to an idle one and then back to an active one causes a great disturbance in the state of mind of the student. And the main issue, wasting time for a quarter of each and every year, is an irretrievable loss. It is easy to understand that this is not the intention of the summer season and the purpose of the vacation given to the students. And if this is so regarding students in general, how much more so with regards to students in Jewish schools and especially yeshivas ktanis. The problem of the vacation time was raised in the day of Rebbe. This problem is especially in the United States, considering the harmful influences of the street and one's surrounding in the United States, but it is still relevant more or less in every place and every time. Now, at the Rebbe's suggestion, the Merkez L'Inyonei Chinuch, he writes, has went to correct the situation and has proposed a certain program for the summer days, which has found a good echo in the broad circles of frum religious education. Now he's saying the points, what the Rebbe said, the points that's supposed to be done. The following are the main points in this program. Number one, First of all, it is incumbent upon the teachers to instill in the hearts of the students the correct understanding of the role of the summer season and its purpose, in order to evoke with the students the will to arrange their vacation in according with this understanding. And then in parentheses he writes, in other words, to explain to the students the real reason why there is a summer vacation, which is surprisingly not discussed in Bichlal. And based on that, the students will arrange their vacation in a way that they could accomplish what the summer is meant to accomplish. In many other sichas, he writes, Rabbi Chadikov writes, or Rabbi Mindel writes, and letters, the Rebbe explains many different reasons for the summer vacation, and one of the things they wrote over here. I don't know if this was the discussion that he had with the Rebbe, but this is what they wrote, Rabbi Chadikov, I think. The summer gives the children an opportunity to learn ma shaliboy chofetz, what they desire, because there is no set curriculum of what to learn. And number two, being in a summer camp gives the children an opportunity to be 24 hours a day in an environment of Yiddishkeit and in the Rebbe's Dalet Amis. Whereas throughout the year, they are only in school a few hours a day. They continue writing. It must be explained to the students with the words coming from the heart, Dvarim hayotzim min halev, that the problem here is not just the time being wasted, even though this reason alone should be enough to evoke a serious contemplation. Rather, it must also be stressed that such a long break without any mental and academic preoccupation is bound to dumb the brain and dull the talents, so that much of what was learned in the past year will go to waste, because forgetfulness is always present, and especially in a time of idleness. In other words, the problem is not only that during the summer they are wasting so much time, but that the summer actually ruins the whole previous year. It is not just that they are not going up, but they are going down. And this long break will also make the entry into the cycle of learning in the new year much more difficult, and it will destroy any possibility of greater advancement in the new year of learning, which could have been ensured had it been used out his time in the summer in the proper way. Now going back what the Rebbe said. Number two, it would be befitting that in every school there be at least one staff member, and two or more would certainly be good, who will take upon themselves the responsibility to stay in touch with the students, whether it is through meeting them or writing to them, to see how they are doing and what is going on with them throughout the whole summer. I mean, the Rabbi is giving the teachers a job to do here. Apparently, it's not just teaching 10 months. They have to be involved all the time with the students. And it would be good if the teachers who is in charge of each class or division, who acts as the guide or advisor of the class, if there is such a thing, and if not possible to appoint someone like this, should interest himself in the students of his class to see where each student is. What is he doing? Who are his friends? And so on. So the Rebbe was cared about each one. This will also let the students know that they have who to turn to advise or help if needed. And the Merkez L'Inyan Chinuch should appoint or be involved with the schools. This is what the Rebbe said. Number 3, it would be very good if there would be a few general meetings between the teachers and the students throughout the summer, whether in the city or in the summer camps. At least one each meeting is absolutely necessary. Perhaps the fitting day for this is 15th day of Av, to make it a day of gathering for the teachers and the students. So apparently the Rebbe wanted that they should work with the camps also, that they should see the teachers should be involved all the time. It shouldn't be just they teach and they leave. There's no such a thing by the Rebbe. I hope it's being done. This is what the Rebbe wanted. It would be good, number 4, if possible, to arrange that several schools should collaborate in this to predetermine whether the staff members and teachers will be spending their time during the summer in a way that each one in his place will interest himself in the supervise the students in his surroundings, not necessarily his own students. And he writes here, I don't know what that means. And maybe it is possible to appoint a special coordinator for this collaboration. This supervision means also to make sure that the students will be careful about tefillah b'tzibur, and that they have fixed time for learning Torah. Number 5. This Rabbi Chadikov writes, last summer, the Rebbe expressed his great wonderment, I don't know what year this was, regarding the lack of interest in arranging for the Talmidei HaYeshiva, at least in the United States, to schedule to learn Torah every single night, at least for a little bit, in accordance with the Din, Psak Din Shulchan Aruch, Talmud Torah, Rabbeinu Hazokin. He means the commandments of Vagisu B'Yom V'Layla. You should learn day and night. For in the winter, when the days are short and the nights are long, many yeshiva students have a fixed schedule to learn also at night in yeshiva, or other words, Seder HaYeshiva extends also in the night. This is not so during the summer when the days are long and the nights are short. So how will they fulfill the obligation of learning Torah by night if a schedule to do so is not arranged for them? Taking all the above into consideration, the Rabbi Chadikov says, the Merkez L'Inyan Chinuch has begun a special operation on a trial basis, which is to recruit young men who will volunteer to gather the Jewish children in their surroundings, and especially those who roam around doing nothing, and bring them to a local shul in order to give them a Torah class for 15 minutes before davening Ma'ariv. Obviously, the class must be age appropriate for the children. I hope this is being done. The trial went well, he writes, and in many neighborhoods such classes were arranged. The results were many fulfilling Psak Halacha, an important educational impact, and davening Ma'ariv with the minyan. This is in addition to the good impact it had on the laymen who come to shul, who were inspired through this to also take part in public Torah classes, to cherish B'nai HaYeshiva, and so on. It is worth noting, this is in abbreviation, parentheses, that in this operation it was possible to make not only the volunteers amongst professional teachers and educators participate, but also young working people that were in the past students and mechunchim of the yeshiva. These people too were happy with the opportunity to fulfill, and you shall teach your children, these are your students, vishenantam uvanecho, elu hatalmidim, and they willingly volunteered to participate in this program. Moreover, such a program can be arranged and relatively easily, not just in large cities, but also in every place in which Jewish children are found, and it is only dependent on the will. Now, going back at number 6, what the Rebbe said, a special and important matter in the whole issue of the summer season is the necessity to influence upon the students to keep the mitzvah of tznius in their clothes, in all their going about, something which sadly is extremely neglected. And here is the place, note, the misconception which is widespread amongst many and also amongst religious people, that the whole concept of tznius applies solely to Jewish girls and women, when the law is clear that there are many matters of tznius in which men and boys are obligated. It would be befitting that this too be publicized. Number 7, it is absolutely necessary to bring the problem of the summer season to the attention of the parents and to inform them of the program and the action which were done in connection with this issue, so that the parents will also be able to participate as much as possible. And mainly to that they will be inspired to keep a watchful eye on their children. Now, number 8, this is last thing. Even though it is self-understood that educational institutions must take an interest and know in which camps and in general in which kind of environment the children are preparing to spend this vacation, and guide them with advice and instruction on going to proper and kosher camps, and proper not only in regards to nutrition for the body, but also in regards to nutrition for the soul. This is written in Hebrew, and this is what I found. And I think that how we see how much the Rebbe put so much keiches into making sure that the teachers are always involved with the students 24 hours a day, 12 months a year. And this is, I hope that this is what they do. Mitzvah Hashem. In Mitzvah Hashem, in the future, I will share with you some other inyanim that Merkez Inyan Chinuch is supposed to do, that the Rebbe and the Frierdiker Rebbe gave them this responsibility. In Mitzvah Hashem, next week we will continue our weekly program. Thank you.